I said I would talk about this show maybe about a month ago, a month or 2 months ago. Here we are, Space Above and Beyond. This is one of my favorite space saga style shows. And it was a mix. It was a mix of several different shows, in my opinion. And to me, one of the greatest shows in the 90s that did not gain traction. There's a lot of good shows that didn't gain traction and got canceled, in my humble opinion, prematurely. And I think this is one of those shows. Now, I don't remember the reasoning that it got canceled. I was young at the time. I think when this show came out, I was, 15, 16? Loved the show. It might have been just ratings. It didn't get the ratings that they needed it to get to continue the show, which I understand. You can't do anything about that. But it was probably, especially at that time, it was probably marketing, because I went back not too long ago, maybe a couple years ago. I'd say maybe about 5 years ago, and rewatched some of the episodes, not all of them, which I need to go through again and rewatch. And I was like, yo, this is still enjoyable 20 plus years later. I still enjoy this. Like, this is legitimately still good. This is a show that if they were going to take a show and remake a show, I think this would be a good one. I think in this day and age, this show probably stands a greater chance of making it, having real legs and going far. And I said this in my last video. I think I was covering Stargate Universe. If you have the misfortune of liking shows that I like, the show is probably going to get canceled. That's the unfortunate truth. I don't know what it is. I have the anti-Midas touch when it comes to shows, but I was going to go over some of the information, some things about this show. Let me see if I recycle this page, if it'll play the because it was playing the trailer from the show. I'll let you watch that for a little bit. Space Above and Beyond. It was released in 1995, and it went to 1996. And I want to say, was it 2 seasons? I think it was 1 season. Might have been 2 seasons. I think it was 1 season, and I think that season kind of got cut short, and they had to end it abruptly. Man, it was so good. I was so mad when this thing went away. So some of the actors, Morgan Weiser, Kristen Cloak, Rodney Rowland, Joel De La Fuente, Lanny Chapman, James Morrison, who did an excellent job in this show, Tucker Smallwood, Robert Crow, Tessia Valenza, Michael Mantel. You know what's funny? Montel, I guess that's how you say his name. Some of the actors and actresses I saw in this show, I mean, they probably have been in some, smaller items throughout the years, but I haven't really seen much of them. Ashlyn Gear, Edmund L. Schaff, David Jean Thomas, Amanda Doug, however you say that, Doe, maybe that's how you say it. Said David James Thomas, Doug Hutchinson, David St. James, Christopher Kirby, Stephen Jang. And of course, there was a lot of, people that showed up throughout the show, weren't reoccurring characters and stuff like that. But this website I found, I believe it kind of had the plot and the premise of the show. Yes, his influences. The main fictional work that influenced Space Above and Beyond was the 1974 science fiction novel, The Forever War by Joe Haldeman, in addition to other fictional works such as the 1948 World War II biographic novel, The Naked and the Dead by Norman Mailer, the 1895 American Civil War novel, The Red Badge of Courage by Stephen Crane, and The Iliad, and the 1962 television series Combat. Yeah, and this I man, this the show was so good that I remember when it came to an end, I was shocked because there were other shows at the time that were able to continue and to thrive that I personally think should have been brought to an abrupt end. So the series was created, written, and produced by Glen Morgan and James Wong, who had previously produced the X Files. And that for some reason, like in my memory, for some reason, I thought this show came out the same year as X Files, but it was actually much earlier. X Files came out in 1993. This first aired in 1995, so it wasn't necessarily at the same time. The show was filmed in Queensland, Australia. You know what's funny? I didn't know that, but now that makes so much more sense when I think about some of the backdrops. I could tell now looking back, like this is not the US, but I don't know where this is. And at Warner Roadshow Movie World Studio by 20th Century Fox Television and Hard 8 Pictures Inc. in associate with Village Roadshow Pictures. As technology matured, the cost of computer systems with performance suited for 3D rendering became affordable. Space Above and Beyond relied heavily on computer-generated imagery for space scenes. Physical special effects played a significant role in the production of the series as well. Such a good series. And I was really surprised over the years that no one has picked this up, especially with streaming services. That's what surprised me. There's a lot of shows that if some of the executives of these different streaming services would go back and look, okay, this show was cut, this show was cut, and this show was cut, but the people loved these shows. They were like, they had like a cult following. Now, I don't know. I can't tell you because I haven't kept with it like over the years. So I can't tell you if Space Above and Beyond had a cult following. I will say it kind of says something that there's a whole wiki dedicated to Space Above and Beyond. I didn't know this existed. I looked it up because I was like, is there anywhere where it has all of the information about this show like condensed in one place? So yes, awards. The series was nominated for 2 Emmy Awards and 1 Saturn Award. Interesting. DVD release. And what's funny is I never even thought to buy the DVD of Space Above and Beyond. Like, what kind of fan am I, right? Especially during the DVD era. Can't believe I didn't think about buying this thing. Let's see what it has for background. Okay, so kind of takes you through the a little bit of what was going on. It's an interesting show. I think, let me see. I think you can find it on Tubi, if I'm not mistaken. If you're looking to watch this, it might be in other places as well, but I think Tubi has it. Or I don't have the app on my phone anymore. Let me see if I can look it up. Where can I watch Space Above and, if I spell above right, Above and Beyond? Pretty sure Tubi was one of them. Maybe Amazon Prime was one of them. Free streaming options. I guess somebody on YouTube uploaded some episodes. DVD, Amazon. Wow. Okay, well, what streaming service? Because I'm pretty sure that I saw it. Maybe I didn't. That's crazy. But I guess somebody posted some episodes on YouTube. You know what? It might have been, I'm thinking about Stargate Universe. That's the one that you can watch on Tubi. So it says you can watch it on Plex, free but ad supported. Okay. And YouTube, like I said, somebody posted the unofficial, episodes. Set in the year 2063 to 2064, the show focuses on the Wildcards, members of the United States Marine Corps Space Aviator Cavalry 58th Squadron. They are stationed on the space carrier USS Saratoga. And you know what's funny? I wonder, now thinking about this, I wonder how much inspiration, if any, Halo took from Space Above and Beyond, like if there was any crossover. Because I never thought about this. Some of the ships, some of the space battles and some of the things that went on, now when I think about Halo, it's really reminiscent of this show. So that makes me wonder. The main characters fill roles as infantry and pilots of SA-43 Indo-Exo atmospheric attack jet fighters. The Wildcards are the central focus of the series, which follows them as they grow from untried cadets into veterans. Action was good. The stories and the episodes was good. For the time, the special effects were good. They were not bad. And this was, I want to say this was like at the like cusp of CGI, becoming what it eventually, is right now. And yeah, they did well. Man, I wish this show would have continued. This was one of my favorite shows. I wasn't going to go deep. I just wanted to kind of shed some light on that. Maybe there's more fans of this show. Maybe I'm not the only one. Well, obviously I'm not the only one. They have a whole website dedicated to this, but maybe somebody who watches my videos was also a fan of this show. Why didn't it continue? I'm going to have to look into that because now I'm interested beyond nostalgia.